One of the most frequent questions I get, and I think I say that a lot, but this is the honest, I get this question all the time, is how do you choose between what is free versus what is paid? And what these people mean when they're asking this question is how do you choose between what goes on a podcast or a YouTube channel or a blog or however you're dispersing your content versus what goes in your paid courses or your paid gateway and whatever that looks like. And I have an answer for you. So if you've wondered what you should give away for free, what you should keep behind a locked gate and key, this is the video for you. So let's just get into it. Welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, my name is Jessica Stansberry, and I am here to help you live a more productive, more soul-filled, more lovable life. So if that is your jam, make sure you hit the subscribe button below because I don't want you to miss any other videos with me to help you do exactly that. Now, if you're here to learn how to decide what is free versus what is paid, if you're putting out content into the world, if you're a content creator, a blogger, a business owner, whatever, then this is the video for you. I have a feeling you're not going to love the first part of my answer, but I promise you that it will all come together at the end, so make sure you watch the entire video. All right, so here's the first part of the answer that I don't think you're going to like. Because one, you've probably heard it before, and two, it seems like kind of a pass off and not a real answer, but I'm going to go into more explanation, I promise. So when determining what to give away for free and what to lock behind a paid gate, I'm here to tell you that you should give everything away for free. And I know that sounds insane, and I'm going to explain more in a second, but the more you give away for free, the more people will want to pay you. It is a proven formula. Ask anybody who does this for a living. When you give good content away for free, people are like, wow, if that's their free content, what's it going to be like when I pay them? That's what instantly happens in their brain. And so when I say give it all away for free, there are some restrictions, right? And this is kind of where you can determine what's kind of locked up. One of the things that I teach in my YouTube Rockstars course and in some of my other programs is something that I've never heard anybody else talk about before. And in that instance, I will not put it out there for free. It's only in my course. It's only in my programs because I've literally never heard anyone else talk about it. I think it is a game-changing strategy, and I don't want to put it out there because that is the thing that people are coming out of the course being like, oh my gosh, I never thought about that. So there's certain things like that you definitely want to keep under lock and key. That's very few and far between. There's nothing on the internet as new information. You know, the way you deliver it might be new, or the way you understand it and then recreate it for your people might be new, but nothing on the internet is new. And so it's really hard for us to think oh, that's mine. Oh, they need to pay me to get that information. No, they don't. You need to give it away for free. But keep those things that everybody else is not talking about, that you have a really good handle on, locked away in a box for just the people who sign up to pay you in some way. And that can be one-on-one coaching, a product, a service, whatever. Now, here's a couple other tips for giving it all away for free. One, it's not going to be as long or as extensive as you would give it in a paid format. So for instance, when I have a video on here that's how to tag YouTube videos to rank higher. It's one of the highest ranking, thankfully, videos on how to tag videos on YouTube, and it gives you my strategy on how to find keywords and tag them and all those things. It's 7 minutes long. In my course in YouTube Rockstars, where I teach you how to use YouTube to build your business, the section on tagging and keywords is over an hour long. So there's more to it. That's the gist of it, but there's more to it. And so I would encourage you to do things like that as well. Oh, well, I teach about how to choose tags and all these things, but there's really, there's this little piece I could pull out and make free content. So your free content is going to be a less thorough version of what your paid content will be, okay? So yes, you're still giving it away for free, but you are giving it away in a less thorough way than you will if someone pays you and you give it to them in that way. I hope that makes sense. Also, there's power in having things in order. So if you scroll back through my YouTube channel, you will find a lot of YouTube tips in this channel, right? Like a lot of tips on how to rank your videos, how to make thumbnails, how to start a channel, how to X, Y, and Z, right? And you're going to find that all over my channel. But none of it is in order of how you need to do it. It's not like, oh, here's the video on how to start a channel, and then here's the video on how to set up your channel, and then here's the video on how to do this and how to do that and how to do this and how to do that. They were released at different times throughout my content calendar for different reasons. There's power, and people will pay for having something in order. So it's like, yes, all of that content may be on Jessica's channel, but if I pay her these dollars, it's going to be in order. There's going to be higher level strategy. I know I'm not just getting a 5-minute YouTube tutorial. And there's going to be little pieces of things that she's going to throw in here that she couldn't possibly put in her YouTube channel because there's not enough time in the day. So that's kind of what subconsciously goes through someone's mind when I'm giving them things and they're like, oh, I solved that problem, but now I created a new one. That's another fun little tip for you as content creators. And it's not to confuse your audience, so don't get me wrong. It's going to sound that way when I say it, but that's not at all what I mean. Sometimes it pays for your paid content for you to solve one problem and create a new one for your audience. So I know my audience is confused about tags. So, okay, I'm going to put out a video about how to tag a YouTube video. But now I created a new problem because they're like, oh, well, how did you find those keywords? And if there's not a free resource or they can't find it, they're going to come pay for it, right? So you want to solve their problems, but also possibly create new ones so that they see the value in your paid content, okay? So another tip kind of along the same line is that people, well, like what I just said, people will pay for things in order, right? People will pay for things in sequence, but also people will pay for things to be all together. I have a really good example of this. Let's say you're making Thanksgiving dinner and you want to make a turkey and you want to make carrots and you want to make yams and I don't know, meatloaf. Why would you make meatloaf on Thanksgiving? Whatever. You want to make whatever you want to make, but you have in your head that you want to make this entire Thanksgiving meal. So you can waste a couple of hours and you can go to Pinterest and find the recipe for the turkey. And then you can find from another source, you can find the recipe for the yams. And then from another source, you can find the recipe for the stuffing. And then from another source, you can find the punch recipe. And then from another source, you can find how to make the best deviled eggs. You can waste a couple of hours or more finding, kind of cherry picking all of these things. Or you can pay $5 and someone will deliver an entire Thanksgiving meal menu in your inbox in a PDF, right? Like that's a no-brainer for me. I would 100% hands down get the $5 PDF and let them just send me everything I needed in that one place so I'm not having to waste 2 hours of my day that could be spent on better things going out and looking for the stuff, right? So even if that's your own content, like, oh, you could go on my YouTube channel and you could figure out this piece of how to start a channel or this piece of how to grow a business or this piece of this or this piece of that. But it would take you hours and hours and hours to do that. Whereas you could pay $37 and have it all, right? So just know that you should give it all away for free. But that in your mind, your thought process should be, let's put this out of order. Let's not go as in depth as I would in my paid products. And there are going to be certain things that nobody else is talking about that you have a lock and key on that you do not want to release out into the world, at least in its fullest capacity, without having someone pay to access it. And then putting things in sequence and putting things in order and having things all together in a pretty little box is well worth the money paid, even if your content is out there for free. There are probably 0 businesses that sell information products, sell a course, whatever, that you couldn't find almost the entirety of the course, whether it's from them or cherry-picked from different people out on the internet. But 1, you're wasting time, and 2, that's not productive for anybody. So as a content creator, as someone who has this question, you definitely want to remember that people will pay for ease of use. People will pay for simplicity. Also, the most important thing to keep behind that locked gate of money with the dollar signs is you, access to you. People should not get access to you in your brain and feel like they expect you to pour into their business or their lives or whatever without giving you money. Yes, we're going to answer Instagram DMs. Yes, we're going to answer comments on YouTube. Yes, you should be doing all of these things for free, but you should not be giving away the gold that is your brain unless someone is paying you, right? So that's a really easy one. You can keep yourself, your brain, your knowledge, your strategies specific to each person you work with locked behind a paid gate. So I hope that was really helpful. I know it can be a little confusing on what's free, what's not, but hopefully this helps you kind of think about it in a more clear way. So do me a favor, click the thumbs up button if you learned something today. And if you want to know more about things like this, hit subscribe so you never miss another tip like this one with me every single week. Bye, y'all.